What's up, boys? Welcome back. It's another video with your boy Rome. Day 3 of the 70-day vlogs. I'm very excited. I'm kind of getting the flow of things, kind of getting a groove, kind of figuring out how I want to structure things, and it's been moving well. But with that being said, today's video might be a little bit shorter. Honestly, it might be about the same length as yesterday's video. Yesterday's video, you guys got the 2 lifts, not 1, but 2 lifts. The first lift will be kind of with a song behind it. The second lift will engage a little bit. I wasn't doing a lot of yapping yesterday at the leg day, but I was pretty tired. I'm not gonna lie to you, boys. I was pretty exhausted. But I mean, it is what it is. It happens. We're in prep. You're not gonna have days where you're yapping all the time. You're gonna have days where you feel a little bit better. But nonetheless, we gotta make it through it. So I think today's extended vlog video will be a little bit longer. And I think that is due to the fact that we got our first grocery haul, boys. We got our first grocery haul. I have a couple things I need to pick up. I need to pick up some more tilapia, mustard, and then spinach. So those are a couple things I need to go to the grocery store and snag. Let me think. Is there anything else? Mustard, spinach, and then tilapia. Oh, and then a couple gallons of water. So realistically, I mean, that's pretty much all we have planned to go. And then I think it'll kind of be cool just because obviously I plan on bringing you guys along through that. But as we're going through the grocery store, as we are picking up the items that we need, I can kind of give you guys a little bit of hacks, tips, and tricks that I've picked up through the years that kind of help me stay on diet, help me stay on plan, and really help me avoid kind of getting those bad foods that I necessarily know I want, but shouldn't have while I'm dieting. So I was kind of thinking about that. That's going to be kind of cool to where I can kind of drop a little bit of sauce, a little bit of hacks for you boys on how to avoid the foods that taste amazing but aren't amazing for the cut, obviously. But with that being said, that's kind of the thought process. We only have one lift today, not 2, but 1 today. We just have a little bit of arms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, get ready, go do cardio. We're going to come home, get a meal in. As we get a meal in, we're going to go up to Meijer's, do the shopping that we need to get done. That'll kind of be a double dipper. I'll be able to get all of the things that I need. And then on top of it, it will kind of help me digest my food a little bit more. I'll get those steps in to where it will kind of speed along the digestion before the lift. And then we'll hit arms after that. Kind of go on with the rest of the day. I mean, we only have one lift today, so it's not like we'll be double dipping. I mean, realistically, you guys will probably see me before I do my night session of cardio. I know in one of my earlier videos, I was just like, bro, I'm just going to take it to the chin and do an hour cardio. Haha, pimp. No. I did that for a minute, and that was rough. That was tough, boys. That was not fun at all. It kind of made it a lot easier to procrastinate the cardio, or I just would like dilly-dally and just kind of do everything but try to do the cardio. So what I've done now is we break it up into 3 sessions, right? I do a morning session, which I try to do it fasted, but the past week I haven't been able to get it in fasted because as soon as I wake up, my body's just like, hunger, we've been starving, brother. Feed us. So I usually wake up and then in a half haze, half awakeness to where I am partially aware, but not aware enough to have the will to not eat. I'll kind of just warm up my first meal with one eye open and just smash that. And then once I'm conscious, I've had my black coffee. I'm like, oh, we ate that first meal of the day. Okay, that's fine. We're still going to go get our cardio in. Once we get done with our cardio, we'll come back, eat our second meal of the day. That'll be our pre-gym meal, and then go train, do our another cardio, and then usually I'll do another back half of cardio towards the end of the day. And I like to do that after all my meals just to kind of get a little bit of extra sprinkle over the top, after I gotten in pretty much all my steps for the day, all my meals for the day. I'll do my last 30 minutes of cardio. And that kind of, for mental space purposes, that kind of lets me end the day on a win, right? Especially on the days that I'm not double dipping on my training. It's mentally a win for me, right? To where I've gone through the whole day, I've gotten all my meals in. I'm just pretty much drinking water. I feel good. Okay, let's do a little bit more cardio, 30 minutes of cardio, burn anywhere from 280 to 300 calories, and then go home and end the day. And that's usually ending the day with a win. You know, name of the game is consistency. The name of the game is just the little wins, right? If you in the cut win one day after another, it's just the little wins that stack up. So that's kind of the agenda, kind of debrief or briefing of what the day is going to look like. So that's what it's kind of going to look like. So I'm going to get ready here. We're going to go do the cardio. After the cardio, we'll get that meal in, enjoy that meal, and then we'll go to Meijer's, pick up everything that I need just for the next week or two, prep wise, at least what I get from Meijer's. We'll do a Sam's Club haul also, which I just cut blueberries out of the diet. So the only thing I really get from Sam's now is my ground turkey. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's fine. Once I'm out of prep, I'll get a lot more stuff from Sam's again. So my Sam's membership will kind of pay itself off nonetheless. But we got Meijer's on the agenda today. And then after Meijer's, the lift, cardio, and then that'll pretty much be it until I go do the night cardio. Keep you guys updated with that. But that's kind of the briefing of how today is going to look. Nothing too crazy. I haven't been able to set up my extra room I have. I have it set up as a posing room. I have it set up as a check-in room, but I haven't completely set it up yet. And that's why I haven't done a posing check-in with you boys like I would like to. I know I said once I started the full day 70-day out vlogs, I would give you guys posing check-in videos or posing check-in pictures, which strictly, I mean, it's probably going to be the videos. Just kind of keep you guys in there. Let the video run, and then we'll just run through the mandatories, favorite classic pose, that type of stuff, and then obviously kind of give you guys where my headspace is with that. But I don't have that room completely set up yet. I just recently moved my little sister out. She was staying with me for a while, but we just moved her into her own place. I pretty much have the apartment restructured how I would like it again, and then her room is almost completely done, but it's not completely done yet. And that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to do was like when she left, I was like, okay, this is gonna be my room strictly for posing, strictly for getting my check-ins, to where I have the black curtains, to where those are nice. I have a light facing the black curtains so I can at least get decent lighting, or at least attempt to get decent lighting. Then I'm going to put a mirror in the back just so I can kind of see what my poses are looking like as I'm posing. So that's kind of been the setup. That's kind of been the thought process. But I don't have that completely set up yet. But I do want to have that completely set up by the end of the week. So by 9 weeks out, I can give you guys that drop. So at the end of the week, look for a not only up top physique reveal, but down low as well. So I think that'll kind of be nice, kind of let you guys see. I know I haven't really been dropping what the legs have looked like, but that's kind of one of the things. And on top of that, my legs are usually late. My legs are usually the last part of my body that shows up to the party. It is what it is, knowing myself, knowing how I am. My legs like to hold water until the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks, which is fine. It would be worrisome if I didn't necessarily know how my body was, but I do know how my body kind of handles it and how it moves. And I know that's one of the last things to get striated, to where I'll lose the back fat and my lower back will start to tighten up before my legs really start to dice up. And then once my legs start to dice up, they really start to lean out. So it'll be one morning we'll be like, oh, the legs are looking good. We have good separation. Vascularity isn't necessarily where I'd like it to be, but that's okay. Then I'll wake up the next morning and be like, oh my gosh, the vascularity. Where did that come from? It's just sometimes it's one of those things where it's the day before. It's okay. And then the next morning you're like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? And it's just kind of the day-to-day thing. Sometimes your body just takes a little bit longer to kick into it. Sometimes your body's like, hey, we're just going to be fashionably late. And that's fine, As long as it comes in, that's all that matters. But with that being said, that's enough of me yapping. That's enough of the briefing. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of what the rest of the video is going to look like. And then, that being said, I will see you boys when we get ready to go to Meijer's. So, see you then. What's up, boys? I just got done with the first session of cardio. So, for the first session of cardio, I was going to do a stair stepper, but all the stairs were taken. So, I ended up just doing walking on an incline for 30 minutes. So with that being said, that's done. I'm going to go ahead, eat my meal, take a quick body shower, and then we'll head over to Meijer's. But with that being said, I wanted to show you guys my pre-gym meal. My pre-gym meal and post-gym meal, I like to alternate them, usually every other day, just so I'm not consistently eating the same thing. I mean, it's still eating the same thing, it's just kind of switching it up, just so I get a little bit of variety, just kind of change things up every once in a while. But with that being said, the pre-gym meal today is going to be tilapia and white rice. So about 100 grams of white rice and 8 ounces of tilapia. And then post-gym meal will be 35 grams of cream of rice and then a scoop of protein. So that's kind of what the post and pre meals are looking like. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead, take a quick body shower, eat this meal, and then I'll see you boys over at Meijer's. All right, boys, we're at Meijer's. I'm about to grab a couple things. Let me put you boys on game, though. My thought process with grocery shopping, especially when in prep or dieting, is mapping it out beforehand, right? So if you map out your local Meijer's or Walmart and know where everything is beforehand, excuse me, sir, sorry. No, it's okay, I apologize. And then if you map it out beforehand, it makes it a lot easier while you're dieting to know exactly where what you need is, so you can avoid the foods that you don't necessarily need or want to eat. And it kind of takes the chance of kind of going off of diet out of the equation, right? It minimizes the likelihood of you cheating. So mapping out your local grocery store beforehand makes dieting a lot easier. But what I just snagged is some spinach. I got 3 bags of spinach here. And the reason why I snagged 3 bags of spinach, my micronutrients has been coming from asparagus so far. But I am switching to spinach. 2 reasons specifically. Sorry, sir. 2 reasons specifically. One, due to spinach being a natural kidney detoxer. So it's really good for the kidneys, helps kind of detox it. And when you're intaking a lot of sodium, intaking a lot of protein, helps take that pressure off. But also you can get a lot for a little, right? So with spinach, you can usually get a lot of spinach for a little amount of calories, right? So my body thinks I'm a lot more full than I necessarily actually am, which is a win, because when I'm dieting, that will allow me to not feel as hungry as often, right? So the spinach is kind of a game changer, a little bit of a hack, because it allows for you to feel fuller throughout the day, right? So I'm not dying consistently. The spinach is filling me up. It's honestly my go-to. And asparagus has been my go-to lately. But with asparagus, you don't get as much, right? It's like 60 calories for, I want to say, 80 grams of asparagus. To where with spinach, hold on. With spinach, for 85 grams, which is 2 cups, that's a serving size, it's only 25 calories, right? So less than half the amount of calories for a serving. And we're getting 5 more grams of spinach out of that. As long as you don't sweat it down, that'll make you feel a lot more full and be able to implement it a lot more throughout the day, if not at nighttime when you're starving. That's kind of been my thing, especially the back half of prep here, has been um, when I'm really hungry, I'll usually just eat asparagus. And if I eat 2 things of asparagus, that's 120 calories right there, right? So I try to restrict it just to 1 thing of asparagus. And that allows for me to kind of get fuller. And then the other times that I wake up throughout the night, I, sorry boys, I just got stuck on the G Hughes here. G Hughes, I'm telling you, I'm in prep right now, so I've cut G Hughes out, but G Hughes is the go-to. I can't wait till I'm out of prep so I can start incorporating it again. My favorite is probably, I want to see if they have it. I want to see if they have it, boys. My favorite, oh, they don't have it. They're out of stock. So Polynesian, no, they do. They do have it. Hold on. This right here, the sweet and sour, my go-to. My go-to. After that, Polynesian's pretty good. And then the sweet honey, that's good. And then there's a honey mustard, right? G Hughes has honey mustard. That's low calories. That is amazing with lean beef and potato. It's like you're eating burger and potatoes at that point, which is God's here, right? But as you can see, I grabbed mustard. Mustard's the only sauce I really allow myself right now. I think I'm gonna actually grab a couple more of them just so I have them on hand. I'd rather have more than not enough. And then I just go with the Meijer brand mustard, right? So the Meijer brand mustard just is a lot cheaper. And then on top of that, it allows for me to kind of buy a lot at the one point that I'm here, right? It's only a buck. No, it's I want to say $1.50. $1.50 for the bigger ones. I'll grab 6 at a time, right? So I'll grab 6 of those, and those will usually last me 2 weeks when I grab 6, right? The spinach will probably last me about a week, maybe 2 weeks if I really stretch it. But realistically, it'll probably be a week. And then I'm gonna grab some tilapia over here. The tilapia, I usually grab a decent amount of bags. And the reason why I grab a decent amount of bags is due to the fact that it's frozen, right? I do the frozen tilapia. I did do the fresh tilapia from Sam's Club for a minute, but that's a little bit more expensive. So if we're kind of on a budget, balling on a budget here, there we go. I thought they were out. Almost had to freak out. But if you're balling on a budget here, Meijer brand frozen tilapia, only $10. It's a game changer. I mean, for 4 ounces, it's 90 calories. I'll eat a pound of this a day. So when I get here, I'll grab like 5 or 6 bags. Yeah, I mean that's all they have. It looks like they're out. So I mean today we'll grab a little bit less. That's okay. I have 3 bags at home, but we'll grab 3 bags. Let me see how many come in here. So it's 8 servings. Realistically, for me, that's 4 servings. So for these whole things, it's probably per frozen bag, it's about 2 days for this whole thing, right? To where you get 8 servings. I usually eat it 2 meals of 8 ounces. So, I mean, for the bang for the buck, I definitely think it's worth it. And then, like I said, I'm eating so much tilapia right now. It's not really cost efficient for me to get fresh tilapia from Sam's Club. Just because Sam's Club, I mean, it does taste better. You can definitely taste the difference. But if you season it well enough or just use mustard with it, honestly, it's kind of a 1-for-1 and you're green, right? It's not that bad, which is a win. So, yeah, that's kind of my go-to at Meijer's. Right now, those are my things I usually snag when I'm here. Is going to be tilapia, spinach, and mustard. I try to buy the mustard in bulk, and then I usually grab my gallons of water while I'm here, right? So I'll probably grab like 5 or 6 gallons of water just so I have them handy. And then when I go to the gym, I usually just refill them at my local Crunch. But I'll probably only grab 4, right? I'll probably only grab 4. But I usually grab 4 of these. And then when I'm at my local gym, local Crunch, I'll just refill them there. after like 5 or 6 refills, then I'll just get a new gallon. But for the most part, that's kind of how I run that. But as of right now, we have 3 bags of spinach in here, 4 bags of tilapia, 4 gallons of water, and 6 containers of mustard, right? And like I said earlier, when you map out your grocery store, it allows you to really get in and get out, so you're not spending a lot of time running through the aisles and then running the risk of snagging snacks or grabbing foods that you necessarily don't need while you're in the cut. It's it's kind of one of those things where it's like prep is already mentally tough enough. Prep is already hard enough as it is. And dieting alone, not even necessarily prepping, if you're just dieting's already a mental battle. A lot of people think it's a physical thing. I think personally that dieting is more of a mental battle than it is a physicality, right? Because if it was more physical, you wouldn't have the cravings. Cravings wouldn't be a thing. Like your body would just be like, okay, we need the nutrients. You give us the nutrients. Cool. Bet. To where the mental aspect of it is where you get those specific cravings of foods that you really enjoy. Those are where the mental aspect kind of comes in. That's more or less the hardest part for a lot of people when it comes to dieting. But I find when you map out your local grocery store or wherever you go to get your grocery products, it makes it a lot easier to stay on track. You're less likely to snag foods that necessarily would bring you off of plan or screw up your diet, you know? So it just makes it easier. Kind of live by the out of sight, out of mind thought process to where I'm like, if I don't see it, I'm not going to think about it. If I'm not going to think about it, then I'm not going to eat it, right? So it's one of those things where if I keep it out of my view, keep it out of my apartment or keep it out of my bag, I don't necessarily have to worry about that kind of screwing up everything, you know? But I'm gonna scan out real quick. I'm gonna scan real quick, boys, and then we'll see what the damage is. Shouldn't be too crazy. Shouldn't be too crazy. I'm expecting like $100. It's not terrible. Maybe less, you know, maybe less. Like I said, the bags of tilapia are only 10, $10, which is clutch, right? That's very nice just because then I don't necessarily have to spend as much as I would at Sam's Club with the fresher stuff. Hold on real quick. I'm about to dig into the deeper aspect of the basket real quick. Up, two, hold on, boys. 3, 4. That's 4 bags right there. Now we'll move on to the spinach. Got 3 bags of spinach here, which, like I said, this will probably last me about a week. If I really stretch it, maybe a week and a half before I have to come back to Meijer's. I try to grocery shop, so I only have to come to the grocery store maybe once a week or once every other week, right? I try to make it to where I'm only going to Sam's. I try to make it to where I only have to visit one or the other every other week, right? I don't want to have to visit Sam's Club and Meijer's within the same week or have to visit them, you know, back to back. I try to space it to where I'm visiting one week, and then if I need to, I'll visit the other week. It just kind of makes it a little bit easier like that. It makes it a little bit easier to budget it and be a little bit more conscious of what I'm spending, you know? So it's not getting outrageously crazy when I'm spending a decent amount of money on prep food. But it looks like it's gonna be a lot cheaper than I thought, boys, which is a win. You know, we'll definitely take that. Definitely take that. All right. Let's see what the grand total is here. All right. So I mean, grand scheme of things, not terrible. We got 4 things of tilapia. So 4 things of tilapia. I said that'll last me 2 days per bag. So that's 8 days. So that'll last me about a week. I have 3 more at home. So that's about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. That's a good amount of tilapia. I got 6 things of mustard. That'll probably last me 2 weeks. 4 gallons of water. I'll be able to run that for 2 weeks. And then the spinach will last me about a week. So I feel like we kind of hit the planned agenda, you know, the planned amount. And yeah, boys, and it only came out to $58. That's not terrible. I definitely came in here with the expectations of dropping 100. I probably would have if they had more tilapia, if I'm gonna be honest with you. If they had more tilapia on hand, I probably would have grabbed like 7 or 8 bags. And that would have probably brought us up to about $100. But as you can see, $58, boys. You guys see that? Hold on. Let me make sure you boys can see that. 58, not terrible. Let me make sure my card. Oh, my card. Nah, my card is on there. But $58, not terrible. Not terrible. So I mean, that's a win. That's a win. That's kind of the grocery haul. That's kind of how I run Meijer's at least. And then it's just a lot of the same with that, right? So we're here at Meijer's, especially when I'm in prep. It's usually just picking up the same things, especially the last 10 weeks of prep. It's more focused on just making sure I'm consistent, making sure I'm getting the foods that I need to get, make sure I'm not getting anything that I don't need or anything that might throw me off plan, you know? But with that being said, that's the grocery haul, boys. That is the grocery haul. So I think tomorrow we'll end up prepping, so I'll end up running you guys through a nice little cooking day tomorrow. But with that being said, I will catch you guys at the gym. What's up, boys? We're back with another video. We got a little bit of arms on the agenda today. It is a little bit of an earlier lift, so we're gonna go ahead, get in there, get after it. But with that being said, it probably won't be too much yapping today. Just kind of get after that work. I did want a close grip today, but we just benched yesterday, so I don't necessarily want to do that. It'll mostly be just cable work today, so we'll probably be in the same spot. They have a nice dip machine, so I'll probably use that. And then isolation curls, but for the most part, we'll just be on cables. Just cable work today, baby, and I'm here for it. I'm loving it, so I think it'll be a good lift, good little arm pump. And with that being said, I'll catch you boys inside. All right, boys, we're gonna start with a little bit of isolation pull downs, isolation push downs. There we go. For triceps, as you can see, we got the ankle strap, bro. I'm an advocate for the ankle strap. If I can get it on there. Come on, work with me here. Work, there we go, we got it. All right, let's get this work. That feels nice. That's money. I think I adjust it. I'm gonna do one set on this side just so they're not getting it at different angles, but I think I definitely adjust it. Oh, that's money. Yeah, I definitely think I adjust that though. We come down a little bit further. So I can get a nice lean here. Nice little lean. Let me adjust the camera real quick, boys. All right, let's get after this work. As you can tell, I don't know where I want to put my hand. Sometimes I'm just, this motherfucker just be out here. I'm like, do I put it in the pocket? Do I put it up top? Do I put it on the hip? I'll never know. But I think I'm just go hip with it. Right here, like an old lady. It's work. Oh, that's money. That's money. Bro, I live by the ankle straps for, what up, big dog? I live by the ankle straps for different variations, you know? Great for glute kickbacks, but it is a multi-purpose piece of equipment. Like, this thing is immaculate. I love it. Realistically, I enjoy it really for side delts and rear delts. That's really where it's a game changer. But it's good for triceps as well. Good for triceps too. I really enjoy it. Two more there. Two more sets there, boys. I'm gonna go ahead and take a swig of water. Then we'll get after the next two. All right, boys, let's get after it. One more. Oh, that's money. That's money, boys. We got one more here. After this, I'm thinking we do ropes. If the rope's not open, we do a little bit of W bar push downs. After that, we'll do some dips that move on the biceps. But I'm gonna take a swig of water, then we'll get after the next set, boys. All right, last set here, boys. Last set here, nothing too crazy. Oh. That's money, boys. That's money. Let's get it. One more. Oh, that's a killer. All right, I'm gonna go grab the W bar. I don't think there's any ropes open, so we're gonna do W bar push downs, boys. I'm gonna go grab that, and then we'll get after the next couple sets. All right, boys, let's get after this. Get after this work. That's money. That's money. We got three more there, boys. All right, boys, let's get after this next set. Oh, that's money. We got two more there, boys. Two more there. All right, boys. Let's get after this next set. Two more. One more. Oof. All right, boys. We got one more set there. One more set there. Then I think we do either ropes or dips, depending what's open. And then after that, we'll do some biceps. I think we're only gonna do 3 biceps, 3 triceps, 3 movements, 6 movements in total, 4 sets of pop. That'll be 24 sets in total, which I feel like is a good day, especially since we tag arms twice a week. That'll kind of allow me to be able to recover, be able to get after it. And I feel like that's a good amount of sets per muscle group, right? Arms-wise, arms is something I am trying to be a little bit adamant about growing though. So I feel like that is a weak point that I have been trying to bring up. I feel like this year I've been able to bring them up a lot, which has been nice, but you always want bigger arms. Always could have bigger arms. But I'm gonna take a swig of water, then we'll get after the next set, boys. All right, let's get after this last set, boys. Oh, that's money. That's money. So it looks like dips just opened up. So we're gonna go ahead and get after some dips, but I'll catch you boys over there. All right, let's get after this work, boys. We got some dips. Some dips.
that's cooking me. All right, we got 3 more there. 3 more there. I'm like up in the air on whether we do another set on top of it, like another movement. I'm thinking we do, bro, because I really want bigger arms, and I think that's gonna be that one movement. It's gonna be on my mind. It's gonna be on my mind. So I'm gonna take a swig of water, contemplate a little bit more. I'll catch you boys on the next set. All right, boys, let's get after this next set. Let's get this work. All right, boys, we got 2 more sets there. 2 more sets there. All right, boys, let's get it. Last 2 sets. We got 1 more, boys. 1 more. All right, last set here, boys. That's money. That's money. I think I decided against it. I think I'm just gonna do 3 sets of pop, right? I don't wanna overtrain it, especially with me having bag tomorrow and having chest yesterday. I feel like although the primary focus wasn't triceps and the primary focus won't be biceps tomorrow, I feel like they did get a little bit of work. So I don't wanna overtrain them and then run the risk of injury, especially tomorrow doing back movements. The more I think about it, the more I'm kind of like, all right, maybe we just do our 3 sets. I'm not 3 sets, 3 movements apiece, and that'll be good. And then we have arms again Friday, so we'll be able to lock it back in Friday. And then if we feel like we need more by Friday, that'll be kind of the time to be able to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead, go get a cable so we can do some biceps. I'll probably grab a rope. We'll probably do inner curls, outer curls, and then a seated dumbbell movement, and that'll be it for today, boys. All right, boys, we got a little bit of inner curls here. Then we'll do some outers. Then we'll swing over to dumbbells, do some dumbbell work. But let's get after it. That's cooking me, boys. That's cooking me. That's a nice pump. That's a nice pump right there. We got 3 more there. 3 more here. And then we'll be on to the next bicep movement, boys. All right, boys, let's hit this next set. Let's get after it. Let's get this work. Yo, that's cooking me, boys. We got 2 more there, though. Just 2 more. All right, boys, let's get after this work. One more. Oh, that's money. We got 1 more there, boys. 1 more there. All right, let's get this work, boys. Last set here. Last set here. All right, boys, we're gonna come out with it now. We just went inside right between 2 of these. Now we're gonna come out with it. Kind of adjust the range of motion a little bit, just so we can tag that bicep head at a different angle, which is gonna be a little bit optimal, and then hopefully make the back double look that much better. But I'm gonna go ahead and take a swig of water and we'll get after the next set, boys. I took the pump cover off for a second there, boys. We're getting a little toasty, getting a little warm. Let's work. That's cooking me. That's cooking me, boys. We got 3 more, though. 3 more. All right, let's get this next set, boys. Let's get after this work. Oh, that's cooking me. That's cooking me. We got 2 more, boys. 2 more. All right, boys, let's get after this work. Oh, We got one more here. One more here, boys. What up, what up?
See my guy Romeo here. Give him a follow, subscribe. Great teacher.
Hey,
He
I
taught
try.
me a lot of shit watching his TikTok.
I
Great
try.
teacher, man. As you can see.
Hey, I try to drop a little bit of knowledge for the boys that are in here. You know, we all in here for the same thing. We all in here for the same reason, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's what's
What you
up.
doing today?
I got a little bit on. It's nothing too crazy. All right, we got the last set here, boys. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bonkers. We getting after it. Woo! That's cooked. My biceps are honestly pretty cooked right now. I think that's a win. I'm gonna keep it real with you boys. We're kind of running out of time. I got some stuff I gotta do. So just 2 biceps, 3 triceps. But I mean, it is what it is. I'll make up for it Friday. Luckily, that's why we double dip. So if I don't hit it or say my body's tweaked or anything like that, I can always loop back at the end of the week and make sure that I make up for that. But with that being said, I'm gonna do my cardio and I'll catch you boys on the outro. All right, boys, that's another one in the books. It was a good little arm day. I didn't get to do all the biceps that I wanted to, but that's okay, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, that's why we train twice on specific muscle groups, just so we can kind of touch up on if we don't feel like we didn't hit it well the first time around. Always do it the second time, you know. So with that being said, I felt like it was a good lift, though. I feel like I get a good pump. Cardio went well. So, I mean, that's a win. That's a win. So all I got planned for the rest of the day is work and then come back and do another half an hour of cardio. And I feel like that was a good day, you know? But with that being said, that's another one in the books. We are officially going into 9 weeks out, and I feel good about it. I feel good about it and feel good with where we're at. I think cardio will probably bump up a little bit more. Calories will pull. You guys know the deal. You already know. You already know. But with that being said, I'll catch you boys in the next video.